First of all, I am such a huge fan of the show, and I'm so excited with season five on the horizon, and now we get to recap season four today. This is like, this is exciting.
Yeah. It's a good season. I think it's my favorite one.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
what makes it your favorite season?
I don't know. I actually particularly like Jack Rivers' storyline with his grandfather, and I just feel like I don't know, the pieces of the puzzle just come together really well in season four.
Well, you too. So River's character, I mean this series is great for so many reasons, but I love that it also can each season stands on its own. And this season, Jack, we see River is kind of out on his own. And Louisa just ties everything together. I want to hear about how you two worked off of each other, like knowing that those scenes together were so instrumental. How did you go into it together?
What,
Jack,
wait, it was just the first scene, right? Did we have more than that?
I've no, we have the chase scene at the end. Did
Oh, right. Oh, it's that one.
we
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
we have that beginning, but we are quite, it was only really that scene that we have together.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, anytime we get to do a scene together, I mean, I always get excited about that because getting to do getting to do anything with Rose is a gift, really, and not just because she's here. It really is just a gift. And the longer that we've been doing it, I think the more and more her and I have fallen in love with the two of with River and Louisa being together because of what their relationship has become over these 4, 5 seasons. Is developed into something that it definitely did not start as,
mhm.
which is quite exciting. Yeah.
There's something about it that actually mirrors mine and Jack's relationship off screen. You know, we didn't really, in season one, we didn't really cross paths. I was with Min and Jack was with Olivia and Sid. So we were really separate. And as our friendship has grown, I feel like that sort of informed our characters. Um, and the writers, you know, well, Will Smith has been so collaborative with us because Jack and I have both had lots of suggestions on what we want to do with our characters and specifically their relationship. Um, and I think it's like, yeah, I think it's blossomed into something that's quite beautiful, if I don't say so myself.
It is. I mean, where everybody's kind of just waiting to see what happens with the two of you. And you do, you start off at the beginning of the season in one place. And like you said, the end, that finale, like what we are hanging on to in that finale, can you both go back to revisit what it was like shooting that chase scene and that the grenade scene?
Well, I was I was generally winning the race scene. So Jack had to start about 10 meters ahead of me every time we hit action so that he wasn't outrun by someone lower down on the call sheet. Um,
It's it's funny because it's true. Yeah.
No, it isn't. But what do we do? We shut down King,
St.
King's Cross.
Pancras.
Okay, so yeah. Um, we had like a million extras and it was overnight. It was a lot of fun, but we all pulled muscles at the end because we were running for like 4 days straight.
Yeah, it was there is something really romantic about I find something really romantic about train stations in general. And that train station I find really romantic. Um, which was a shame because the point of the scene had no romanticism in it whatsoever. Um, so I think it was just a waste, to be honest, that it was just a chase sequence. But it was just a really cool place to do that, and I love the way that the whole sequence finishes, in the champagne bar. It's just it was just very cool. And like Rod says, I mean, the thing that you forget sometimes with these when you watch them is that, we're shooting them really in the middle of the night where nobody else is up. And they tend to be in slow horses. Some of the more high octane scenes are sort of between the hours of midnight and 6 in the morning, which is great fun.
Now, Jack Rivers really had to come to grips with a lot this season. Looking back on it now, how do you think he handled it?
Um, I think he handled it very well. I think he handled it in the best way he could. I think that thing that I guess you're talking about in particular, that of watching, a loved one sort of disappear in front of your eyes like that, um, must be horrendous. I think it's one of the great fears that people carry with themselves with any relative as they get older. And I tended to like the idea with River as those scenes, as moving towards those scenes, that it was a case of him never thinking that that would actually happen to him. That it would he would be the one that'd have to deal with that, which would put him in a place of unpreparedness. But so saying that, I think he dealt with them very well, because it must just be horrible to see that. Yeah.
You two, you both, your characters are so richly layered. I would love to hear just you've over the course of four seasons, and now you've got fifth coming out and a sixth on the horizon. What has been, I don't know, your favorite storyline or your favorite character trait that you've gotten to portray?
As our own characters.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's a tough question. I think I think for me, I mean, again, I'm not just saying this because Jack's on the call. I've really enjoyed the development of River and Louisa, and that's probably because I like acting. I enjoy acting with Jack, so it makes everything a lot easier and a lot more fun, and a lot more playful. Um, I think what I like particularly about their relationship is that, you know, a lot of people ask me, I don't know about you, Jack, but they ask me what's going to happen with them. Like, is it going to turn into something romantic, or are they just friends? And I sort of like the idea that they don't know. Uh, they don't know what it is, and I think you can often find yourself in those sorts of situations, particularly when you care about someone a lot, that you don't know whether it's something more, and often those turn out to be the best partners in life. Um, it's a bit lame, but like your best friend sort of thing. And then I I just like, I mean, particularly with Louisa's storyline, with all the sort of grief that she's gone through. I've enjoyed sort of just eking her. She's very closed. She's a very closed person. She doesn't talk to anyone about her problems. I don't imagine that she has many friends. Um,
mhm.
and her,
Yeah, I don't think she's got any friends.
she hasn't got any friends. And so and so when someone like River is able to bring out an element of Louise's personality, which I think he does, and which Min did to a certain degree, we didn't have a lot of time with those two, but River makes her somehow a bit lighter, and she sort of opens up to him in a way that she doesn't anyone else. And you wouldn't necessarily put those two on on paper together. Um, so I've enjoyed releasing her somehow. I know that's yeah, I've enjoyed her sort of blooming in her own way. And then when we get into season five, she sort of makes some decisions that are right for her, um, and where she is mentally.
Jack, how about for you?
Uh, as an actor, but River in particular, I really enjoy that he is a little bit, he's used as the audience ever so slightly because, I mean, I might be wrong in saying that he's definitely one of the more normal characters in terms of his attributes. There's certainly quite a few oddities in the Slow Horses gang, and he's quite often paired with them. And I quite like that he's used as the audience's sort of reaction of to most situations or people, particularly with Lamb, or J.K. Cole, or whoever. And I think I do enjoy that being that mechanism sometimes. Um, but most of all, I've it's sort of like what Roz says as well, is that there's obviously a lot of action and a lot of things like that. It'd be quite easy to say that that's what I enjoy. I don't really enjoy that as much as when you are suddenly in a scene with a good actor, really. That I mean, that is a wonderful, and the scene's going well, and it's a good scene. That is always a joy because on a big long shoot, where there is so many moving parts and like I say, lots of action, and there's also a lot of uh, you know, a lot of context that has to come out of actors or of characters' mouths because that's the nature of a TV show. So when you really get to do something personal like that, which is normally with Roz, it truly is, those are the best days on set. Yeah.
I feel like that's what you all do so beautifully is like that it is so rich with action, but also the humor. Like they're all the scenes are good. The characters and the way you all connect with each other is you feel it as an audience member, you feel it. Um, okay, so if you had to depend on anyone in Slough House in real life, who would it be?
It it
It
would be was. I
would be
mean,
Jack.
yeah. It does. It depend on for what. Like to get to get out of a sticky situation, it would probably be Louisa. I mean, to get rid of a body, it would be
You
Rose.
talking about the actor or the character?
Oh,
Well, I was gonna go with the character, but
Oh,
also
sorry. Okay, fine.
don't know.
uh,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah, you go, Jack.
it would be Louisa. I think if I was having a breakdown, Louisa. Um, if I was trying to get rid of a body, it would probably be Roz. No, um, it would probably be like, J.K. Cole. Um, yeah, I don't know what you'd ring Blam for. I don't know what you'd ring him for.
Night on the lash.
Maybe, yeah, good night out. Yeah, yeah,
Probably do that with any of us.
yeah, true. That is true. Who I would never ring. I don't think I'd ever ring. I think I'd prank ring Ho. I'd prank ring Roddy. I don't know if I'd ever ring him. I don't think River would ever ring him. No way. Jack might, just to prank him. Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Roz?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're all sort of for different things.
Hmm.
Shirley. I think she'd just get the job done. If I needed something sorting out, she would just go all guns blazing, not give a shit. Um, and yeah, if I wanted a sort of more balanced, diplomatic outcome, probably good old Standish.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know, a last minute barbecue, I'd probably ring Standish. You know,
Yeah, yeah, bring the cups. We've
really,
forgotten the cups.
yeah, high level organization. You know, yeah, yeah. Because there is a way of looking at River where he's quite self-involved, quite self-obsessed, which is a sideways glance at him, I know, but I don't think he'd have the brain capacity.
You two are absolutely amazing. Season four, phenomenal, just like the rest, and I'm so excited for seasons five and six. Is there anything you want to leave our audience?
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, watch season five. I also think season five is going to be fantastic. If I'm remembering the right season, they're all good. Um, but yeah, watch season five for sure.
Yeah, keep watching.
Mm.
Amazing. Thank you both so much. It was so much fun hanging out with you today.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.